there were no sex witches. Not on television, not in media. There was no one who looked like me growing up, and those people got killed. That was the last time we heard from them. I was like, so you think it's easy to just be myself in my friend group? And the world has changed. And that's what's so cool, right? The world has updated. It is safe now. Not everywhere in the world, sadly, tragically. But for a lot of us, we are actually now in cultures and environments where it can be safe for us to be who and what we are. And you transmitted that to me more than any other friend, any other acquaintance, where it was just like, let's fucking go. And so I started being a sex witch in my friend group, which was my edge. I started showing up, hosting rituals, being available for collective sex magic, whatever people wanted. It was the most healing, potent, activating thing. You gave me that gift of being like, the world wants this. And I think one thing that I want everyone here with us to know is I had to listen to a deeper truth beyond my mind. Because my mind was like, no, that man's not coming into my backyard. No, we're not having co-ed sex magic. No, right? Mind was a no. But when I listened to the deep truth, I was like, oh, this is what life wants, right? And to me, that's part of your rapid expansion as well. You say there was no choice, but to me, you were listening to a truth much greater than what the stories your mind might have told you about all of that.
Yeah, like if I have one gift, it is being able to know like what's next.
Yeah.
You know, like it's hard to imagine meditation in 2009,
Yeah.
but there was no Headspace, there was no Calm, there was no Oprah Chopra, there were not 10 million meditations. If you Googled meditation NYC, it was like me and some Buddhist temples.
Because you started teaching meditation in 2009 online. You were bringing it to the world.
Yeah, I created the world's first online meditation training, which seems inconceivable, right? So it was like, but I could feel the profundity of what was happening in my body, and I knew that it was about to be this cultural zeitgeist shift. Yeah. And I feel that now with sacred sexuality. Yeah. And like, it's possible I'm wrong and I'm just in an echo chamber of sex witches, but I don't think so. Yeah. Like I can feel the profundity of what is happening in my body, and I can feel how the frequency of the planet is changing. And I feel like we are on the precipice of this massive sexual liberation, which will be messy and it will be triggering. And I'm not suggesting it's going to be all sunshine and roses, but like it is going to be liberating and it is going to be fun and people are going to have more pleasure. And I am so grateful to you for your generosity and for seeing me, because, you know, and I think I would like to speak to that too, of like the very few times that it's even gotten a little bit sticky, because you could, like, there's a million ways that we could have been competitive. We could have been othering of like, you're not allowed to do this and don't take this. This is mine. Not, you know, there's a million ways that we could have done, or you could have done that.
Because just so people understand, like, you weren't teaching sex magic, you weren't teaching sacred sexuality practices. And through our friendship, you osmosed, learned, received so much because I was teaching to our friend group, because I was holding space, because you and I were in practice. And so you were adopting things that I was recognized for as a teacher, and then feeling called to share them yourself. So that's what was happening. And then go on.
Yeah. And it feels like my role to play in this is, because what I've always been is a bridge, right? Like I feel like one of my gifts is taking this esoteric sort of like intangible knowledge and communicating in a way that lands, that people are like, oh, I get it. Or I'm even drawn to learn more about it where I never would have gone to a Tantra retreat. Like honestly, even going to LeilaMartin.com might feel a little too scary. Yeah. So I feel like there's a way without dumbing down that I can take these practices and even changing some of the nomenclature, like something as simple from sex magic into pleasure prayer, or from kundalini into creation energy, like just simple words to make it a little bit more accessible to a mainstream audience. And then if people want to go deeper, you know, and like study with masters, it's like, great, please go see my best friend, Leila.
Yeah. And babe, here's the truth. Even if you were like a direct competitor to me, even if you wanted to share in the same way, even if you were the same type of teacher as me, like I give you permission and highest blessing from the core of my being, right? Because I stand for people being well educated and well trained, but your history as a teacher, your lifetimes of work, right? I don't stand for people ripping off my work and never citing me, but you stand in true lineage and honor of your teachers, in citing me and respecting me and loving allowing me. And honestly, like, I'm not here so I can be the only or the best or to make all the money. I'm here because I serve the fucking goddess, and you do too. And when I see that in anyone else, all I can feel in the core of my being is go.
Yes. And I want to celebrate that in you because it's so pure. And in an age where like so many people are like, well, this is my thing, or this is my modality, or I'm going to brand breathing with my name, or, you know what I mean? Like there's, and I'm here for it. Like I want everyone to make money, and I get that brands are part of it, that people have to trust something, and it's complex and sticky. But what I know for sure is that your devotion is to the erotic liberation of the planet and the species. And when you see someone doing that with a level of mastery, you celebrate it and cheerlead it. And I am so excited for what's possible. And thank you even for that transmission, because it's giving me more pom-poms to cheerlead and celebrate the people in my life.
Yeah. You know, when I wasn't the first to put Tantra online, but I was one of the first. And the few others who were there before me, like, came after me, right? Like, how dare you? And you've stolen all of our work and this and that, which I absolutely hadn't. I had been training in Asia for 10 years, and I was literally shocked because it's not how I relate to work.
Yep.
And let me be really clear, like, it is fair to protect your IP, but that is different. And then when they were coming after me, I was like, our work is so powerful because pussy is powerful. It's an infinite portal of goddess consciousness and celebration, because breasts are infinitely magical. Our work is fueled off of the brilliant energy of Kundalini Ma. I didn't make any of those things. I am in humble devotion and service to reality as it is.
Yeah.
I would never be mad at someone for teaching breast massage. Please,
Please, teach it.
For the love of God, let's liberate the pussies,
Yeah.
and all genders. It's just like so wholehearted of like, wow, like, let's be in devotion to erotic liberation, and one person alone cannot.
Yeah, and when you think about like how powerful the forces on the planet are of like control, politics, the way that politics and religion work with each other, the fact that petroleum executives are running most countries if we're really looking at the economics of it. And it's like, and we're going to argue about like which lineage you learn your breast massage from. It's like, I'm sorry, we do not have time for this. And I know we had a conversation the other night, and I feel very heated about this, where it's like what I see of like the infighting or like bifurcation or like purity police of like who's bringing the best flavor of light. It's like, y'all, the planet's on fire.
Yeah.
Like, we do not have time for this.
Yeah.
And so it's like, let's come together. And I had a similar experience. You know, I was very much in a meditation lineage. I had studied it for many years. I had like my nest of people that felt like my home and my teacher. And when I created this online meditation training, at first, nobody said anything because I think it was like dismissible. And they were like, oh, cute, whatever. Yeah. And then as it started to get bigger and more notable and more successful, and then people would show up at their group meditations being like, oh yeah, well, I learned to meditate with Emily. Does that mean I can come to your group meditation? And they're like, well, did you learn online or in person? And they were like, online. And they're like, no, you can't come here. And so my teachers would reach out to me. I mean, my fellow teachers, like my colleagues, will be like mad that someone had shown up at their group meditation, having only taken my online course. And I was like, you're welcome. Like, I just sent you a lead, and we're looking at it from like a marketing perspective. Like, here's a qualified lead, top of funnel, and it's like, how about you nurture them into the lineage? They have curiosity, they're excited to learn, teach them. So anyway.
All right. So for our wrap, and when I'll have you so many more times on this podcast, I would love to hear what have been your favorite practices that you learned from me. You're in my Vita coaching program this year, so you're just a few months in, but I'd love if you could say a few words of what that's been for you, what that's like. And then please tell everyone where they can find you and how they can work with you.
Okay. Number 1, my favorite practices that I've learned from Layla Martin, for sure, sex magic. And I'm on a massive mission to get tens of thousands of people doing it together in like stadiums and at the Grand Canyon and stuff. So like sex magic, like using your sexual energy to manifest is so revolutionary to me, and it's been so transformative. And it started to infuse every area of my life. So thank you, thank you, thank you.